Welcome, everybody, to the Nosebleeds podcast. I'm Chris Witt, and with me, as always, is Mr. Adam Schmidt. Adam, how are you today, sir?
I could not be more fensacious. How are you?
Absolutely phenomenal.
Nice.
Um, Speaking of fensacious,
Hmm.
last week we talked about, and we're going to try to get apparently we've had some issues with the podcast getting uploaded. Hopefully this one is uploaded correctly. So if you haven't heard us for a while and you get a little notification saying that the boys pop back, we've been doing it for the last 3 weeks. Just
Yeah.
had some issues. Anyway, we talked last week, Adam, about myself trying to be a little more self aware of who I am as a loud person that needs attention.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
talked a little bit about it.
Yeah.
I believe we called it the uh, elevator leader, is somewhat how this came out.
Yes.
So we left on Monday to go on a little spring break trip to Tennessee.
Yeah.
I want to preface this with I have some of my best friends who say I must have "come talk to me" written on my head,
Yeah.
my forehead, because for some reason people just see me and say, I'm going to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
I'm driving down the road on the highway, 75 South, or maybe it was 40. Might have been, might have been 40. Anyway, I think it was 40. We're almost to Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, whatever you want to call it. Dead stop traffic.
Sevierville.
Sevierville. They're not this. They're not the Tennessee Smokies anymore. They're the
Oh,
Knoxville Smokies.
Knoxville.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, Still same stadium in Sevierville though, which is just outside of Knoxville. Anyway, so there's this broke down gray Corolla rolling, and they're in the other lane. And one lane goes like 2 miles an hour, and the other lane's dead stopped, and the other lane goes like 2 miles. You just keep passing the same people back and forth.
Hmm.
Well, there's this hillbilly with his shirt off, long curly hair, and he's hanging out the window. And I got the windows up and the AC on, man. It's 80 degrees, dude. He starts yelling out the window. I roll the window down.
Wait, wait, wait. Do you turn and look and see that he's looking right at you and
Oh,
saying something?
I was coming up to him.
Okay.
So he's just hanging out the window, just looking at anybody that'll look at him.
Okay.
And I don't know what he's doing. So I roll the window down and he says something like, "Hey, what do you think about all this traffic?" It's something like that. And I was like, "I know. It's crazy." He goes, "Looks like you're going to beat us." And then I left and I yelled back to him way behind. And I was like, "You'll be back in a minute." Aaron looks at me like, "What are you doing? Why are you?" But at the same time, she had a really cool point. So before I get to that, they come flying back up, flying 2 miles an hour right up next to me. And he's like, he goes, "You want to race?" And I was like, "Let's do it." And his hillbilly ass mom and driving says, "I don't think we're going anywhere, son." And he proceeds to ask what my name is, where we're heading. I said, "We're going to Gallenberg." He said, "Me too." I said, "Maybe I'll see you down on the strip, big dog." He said, "I'll be looking for that blue hat." He said, "My name's Lindale." I said, "Lindale, it's good to meet you." And then I passed him up again. And Aaron, we keep driving. I roll the window back up, and she says, most people would have been scared if they saw a 17 to 20, 19, 16 to 19-year-old hillbilly with the shirt off and long, crazy hair hanging
Oh.
out of a car window. They would just ignore it and not look at anything. You rolled the window down, and that ended up being one of the nicest conversations anybody would have ever expected.
Yeah.
Once again, the outlook now starting to turn around a little bit. Now I'm like, you know what? I do kind of appreciate being maybe I might have made that poor kid's day. He's probably just trying to holler at somebody, like what's I'm bored over here. Probably couldn't afford a phone. Probably didn't have no internet on his phone if he did. Probably, I'm not gonna lie. If they were staying down there, it was in them, one of them micro tels or
Yeah, yeah,
or something right on the strip
yeah. Yeah.
that's got like 12 rooms.
All on the ground floor, all across yeah,
Yeah.
with the door right there.
Yeah. So I was like, I just got done talking about how I'm gonna start not being that person and like watch and have a little more self-control. I no self-control. Just so you know how this is going, I made a friend on I-40 South or East. Sorry, I-40 East.
I gotta tell you, I didn't picture him when you first started talking about this guy as so young.
Yeah, yeah, younger guy. Definitely a
Younger
younger
fella.
guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Like at first he looks like some like punk just hanging out the window hooting and hollering at everybody because he's got this raggedy ass giant curly hair just flapping around in the wind all over the place.
That is really interesting because I would have been like, oh, geez, look at this bozo. You know what I
No.
mean?
Here's the difference though. I or not here's the similarity. I thought the same thing. I chose to engage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's where we're definitely different.
I told you I had a story about the highway.
Mhm.
And my story is that my my
All of what we talked about last week's out the window.
my process, my process did not happen whatsoever.
Okay. All
Whatsoever.
right. So we got to trust the process. It's going to be a long one.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're just like, you know what? That got me back into it.
I,
I'm just who I
I
am. I'm just gonna engage with people.
I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm not 100% sure yet. I was in the car. There are people around. I wanted to see how I do when I'm like out of town and I'm by myself again.
Hmm.
That's where I think the key is. I think that's the key to.
Oh, maybe it's easier to because you don't when there's not other people that you know around. Maybe are do you think you are like maybe subliminally kind of trying to entertain the people you're with by engaging with these other people or something? Are you trying to entertain, do you think?
I don't know.
Without even knowing it really?
I don't.
I mean, I guess you
I don't
wouldn't.
like to think so, but maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. I feel like I need to. Maybe sometimes I don't like awkwardness, so I'd rather. Well, I'd rather like awkward silence. I guess I should say.
Okay.
And everybody's just kind
Because
of
you're leaning into the awkwardness of
everybody's
talking
just
to a
kind
stranger.
of sitting around like, what's going on? Huh? I'd rather. But again, when I'm by myself, though, it is different. When I'm at the bar, just trying to eat dinner, like Joe Flacco, when he did you hear that interview?
Yeah.
When he came to Cincinnati, he just wanted to have a nice, quiet meal. You know what I mean? Sitting at the bar, have a beer and a nice, quiet meal.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to anybody when I'm right there.
Hmm.
Maybe it is. Do I have a problem like I want to entertain? That sounds terrible.
I don't think it sounds
Ugh.
terrible.
Ugh.
Is that a pro? I mean, yeah.
Is it? I don't know, Adam. Is it? I need honesty out of you. You're my therapist right now.
Uh,
And you're never gonna hurt my feelings
no,
in any way, shape, or form. Don't feel like don't think about your answer 15 different ways. Just
it's too late. Um, no, no, huh. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. It's not a problem to want to entertain people, but not everybody always wants to be entertained. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But I think that's what kind of what you were almost saying in a way last week. Like, I don't have to be on all the time. You don't have to be on all the time, but if you are, you are.
I don't know
You
about
can be
on. I don't like that. I feel
on.
like
You
that
know, like
makes
that.
me. I know. I just feel like no. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying you're probably 100% right.
Just a different wording.
I don't like feeling like Chris is like I have to. No, I don't. I feel like that's not who I want to be.
Oh, okay. I
But
see.
when old boy drives up next to me, yeah, I'm gonna talk. What like I don't. it was a fun little. What else are we doing in stuck traffic?
Yeah,
We ain't doing nothing else.
you're not wrong.
He wants to holler at me, I holler at you.
Yeah,
And I'm sure it made other people. Well, there are probably people thinking that we were about to fight or something.
yeah, I
Because
probably would have.
I got hands out the window. He's got hands out the window. We're
Yeah,
jibber jabbering.
3 cars back, they're like, "Whoa, look what's going on
Oh
up
my
here."
gosh,
Yeah,
would he cut him off? Oh my God, what out?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because unfortunately, you almost never see the kind of interactions that you had with that guy. You almost never see those on the road, but you see all the time people yelling at each other and throwing up fingers and hands
Mm-hmm.
and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's I mean that is a nice it is nice that you had a little moment that went well. I mean, you never know how that could have gone, but it
I just always assume it's going to go. There's no reason for it to go bad.
well, people are especially in a situation like that,
Less people than you think.
yeah, maybe. I don't yeah,
I feel
maybe.
like it's such a small percentage of people that are absolutely horrible people that I'm probably not going to run into them.
Huh. Your driving experience is different than mine. Uh, and it's not people yelling at me. I just see people yelling at each other all the time. I'm
Yeah.
like, man, why are you so angry about driving? I don't know. Um, it really brings the worst out of people when they're in their cars
No
because there
joke.
there's a protection there. I think that people
Dude,
until something really happens, then
that is no joke.
yeah. Uh,
Anyway, I just thought,
that's
I made a friend on the highway.
that's
So,
fascinating.
you know,
On the heels, like you told
yeah,
me, on the heels of what we talked about last
last week.
week,
Yeah.
that's definitely very interesting. It's an interesting development
Yeah.
in your evolution.
So I guess we won't know what happens until next time.
I can't wait until the next story of some sort of
Hmm.
stranger interaction.
No idea how it's going to go, but we're going to find out.
In that situation, would you call yourself or the other kid, the elevator leader? Who was the elevator leader in that situation?
I don't know.
Maybe there wasn't one.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good
It's
question.
just probably him because he's just reaching out
I
for
mean,
some sort of
yeah, but
context.
in the elevator, I'd have been like, "All right, bro, that's a little much just to walk in here and just ask me where I'm going and what's my name. Where, dude, we got 5 seconds on this elevator."
Yeah.
But I was all in for that. I don't know what it is. I can't figure it out.
Yeah. On the elevator, yeah. That would have either been that same thing, either would have been
I would have
like,
had to be the elevator leader and toned him down.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like that would have, the doors open up and he's getting off his floor, you're getting off, and it either ends in, ugh, what a weirdo,
Hmm.
and gosh, I didn't
Yeah.
want that interaction, or it's a quick kiss on the lips and you head out,
It only happened twice,
Could have
but
been, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But
Both guys were super nice about it too. I wasn't sure if they were going to be in for it, but
right, and but that's my point. It's like one extreme or the other,
yeah,
really, you
that's
know.
true. That's true.
So anyway, that's man, that's I had no idea what that story was going to be about, but
Yeah,
that was, you
yeah.
know what? Good for you. That was
Lindale's my new
interesting.
buddy, man.
Lindale.
Lindale.
Dale. All
He
right.
looked like he was Dale.
Lindale White
No,
from USC.
from USC. No, no, no. This dude was not a black fella, nor was he an incredible athlete by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay. All right.
Uh, he's about as hillbilly as they get. My assumption is if you threw a football to him, he wouldn't catch it. We stayed in this little place, and there's a road and there's a campground next to it, right? You park your campers in there. A couple of these dudes come out from the camper spot, and they walk down the street and they got gloves and a ball. And I was like, "P, we brought stuff, man. Why don't you go down there and toss with them dudes?" When you go to the beach or when you go so, or if you go to a park and you see somebody with a football and another dude, and you're like, "Oh, here we go, a little tossing action," and then they go to throw, and like their elbow leads, and
Hmm.
and it's below their shoulder, and it's more of a weird, awkward push, and
Yeah.
everything flies open at the same time, and you're like, "Oh, that dude,
Never
this might
mind.
be the first time he ever threw a baseball."
Yeah.
And when they try to catch it, and their glove is like pushing down like they're snapping it off, or they got their heel up with their
Yeah.
glove upside down and they're about to get smoked in the face. Um, yeah, I I looked at my brother-in-law and I was like, I'm not gonna push him. They might hurt those
Yeah.
two grown boys over there.
Yeah.
They're like high schoolers. They probably would have hurt
See, that's another. See, you're assuming you see people like that. Let's go engage and toss with them.
him.
I'm like, I want to toss too. I don't want to toss with them. I don't know them. I want to toss with the people I'm with and only the people I'm with. And I don't want someone else coming up to me saying, "Here, can I toss with you?" No, I don't. Yes, I'm going to say yes, but I don't want you to
I
at all.
don't. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Now I'm nervous. I'm gonna hurt you. I'm nervous of a lot of things. Don't throw. I,
Even if you're a super athlete, if I don't know you,
I don't want. I don't want to. Yeah.
toss them with my cousin or my brother or something. You know what
Gosh.
I mean?
Yeah. I don't. I
I
guess.
mean, maybe it's more of a problem of me, not just being friendly enough to just. I mean, if they ask, I'll say sure, but I'll be reluctant about it. In my
Yeah.
head, I'll be like, I didn't really want to make this a. I didn't want to make this a community
I wasn't
toss. I just
trying
wanted
to
to.
make a friend today.
Yeah,
Ah,
I don't like friends.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You're again. You're. I mean, here we are again. Here we are again.
It's just another example of how we think differently in that kind of situation.
Yeah.
You know, that's funny.
Speaking of thinking differently in situations, did you see Dan Hurley after the Elite Eight last second shot?
I sure did.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, when I was watching the game and I didn't notice it when it happened. Very like right after that, I started seeing it and people were like, "What do you think about this? What is this all about?" And people are have all kinds of opinions about it and um it
So the biggest problem is it's Dan Hurley. That's the number. First off, that's the number one problem that everybody's going to start to have with it, and why the assumptions go where they go. Number two, it's not like they're wrong for assuming that
right.
because it's Dan Hurley, right?
Yeah.
So I can see where everything is just he just headbutted this referee. He's probably
Yeah.
sucked all day, and he's like, "Look at us now."
It wasn't it didn't look like that to
I
me.
didn't think it looked like that when I first saw it.
Yeah.
It looked awkward. It looked like
It
Dan
was.
Hurley was doing something that the referee was not giving whatever it was back.
Right.
Because if he was going to argue, he just would have argued, and he did not.
No.
And that's
Yeah.
unlike Dan Hurley. If
It
he
was
wants to tell you what he's thinking, he's going to tell you exactly what he's thinking.
yes.
Um,
Like he did at the end of the season against Marquette when he I mean,
he
I
did.
don't know that
He
I've seen
whispered
a
sweet nothings into the referee's
that's
ear.
exactly what he did. And even more intensely than I ever saw Lou Piniella or Earl Weaver or any I mean, that's like the you think of baseball umpires and managers like the most heated in your face. You got to turn your cap
Yep.
around so that you can
Yep.
meet nose to nose.
Yeah.
You know, you got to kick
Yeah.
some dirt. You got to throw a base. You got to do the Wally Backman and get everything out of the dugout
Yep.
and cover the plate and throw everything and go crawl on the ground and throw grenades and all
That's
that.
my favorite one.
Yeah. um, but yeah, the way he did that at the end, and so to your point, and then I'll stop talking. Um,
Please don't.
I it is Dan Hurley, and that's why it's like it's not why any coach that does that, it'd be like that was weird.
Yeah.
That's my biggest. It was just so strange, and a lot of people were like, that should be a technical. He made contact with the official, and I don't even disagree with that. But also he was very much in a moment, and that was how he was like. That's how his celebration came out of his body
Yeah.
when the official walked over. There's also weird things about the way people talk, including him, the way they talk about people talked about how the official approached him so quickly and he turned around and he was right there. That's not true. And
That's not
from
true at all.
no, and I
He
keep hearing
caught a
people say that.
he caught a glimpse of that dude coming at him, put his eyes down, and lunged, leaned.
He walked over toward like where
Yeah.
the official was coming over to the scores
And he
table.
might have been coming towards him as well to talk to him. It
Right.
sounds like maybe.
Yeah. but Hurley went up the bench,
Yeah.
up the coach's box and and was just like in a moment. And he did say that he has a much better relationship with that official than most other officials, but still, like you can't. I mean, I think Dan Hurley is doing that as as a celebration,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And but you can't bring the official into the
It's
celebration.
so weird that he thought the official would
He,
be
yeah.
into engaging into that.
And in the one interview that he said, I thought he was coming up to chest bump me. No, there's no possible
No
way
way
he
that
thought
happened.
about that.
Now, if the game, so did he think the game was over?
I mean, I don't know
I
how
mean, it
you.
was a long distance shot at
Mhm.
the buzzer. It's very, very probable that while the ball was in the air, the clock ran out. So it could have been a.
I don't think it did.
No, no, I'm just saying, like, in the spur of all of this moment, is Dan Hurley think the game's over? In that case, if the game is over in your head, then the reaction to the referee could be slightly different than if there's still time on the clock. Still should
Mhm.
actually it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But like there's no ref in all of sports that I've ever seen that went over to the winning team and high-fived them or chest bumped them or
Right.
something.
Yeah. Sags might do that, but like in
I
real,
I don't even think Sags would do that.
I don't know.
I think Sags would walk over to you, grab you by the arm, and go, hey, "That's a great game, pal. Way to go, way to go!" And he'd
Yeah.
want to talk to you for a while.
Yeah.
But I don't know that he's coming over to chest bump you or give you a
Yeah.
high five. Much less, what did he call it? Like the way deer or dogs or animals bump their foreheads together
He's
in
like,
affectionate
yeah,
way. Like, are you
reindeer, how
trying?
they,
You
oh,
trying to? He called it a head hug.
yeah, that's what he did.
You were trying to hug the referee with your head. That's like, I mean, I joke around and tell people, ask people if they want a mouth hug all the time.
What?
You know?
Well, first of all, the two guys in the elevator.
Well,
Um,
we can stop acting like one of them wasn't you.
I was trying to get around that without people knowing, but all right. Uh, anyway, the the weirdest thing, and here's the other thing. Okay, I mean, if they went by letter of the law and he made contact with the official, and whether it wasn't like he wasn't getting in his face to say screw you or that's what you get for being a bad it wasn't anything, it didn't look anything like that to me at all. But he still like engaged the official in a very strange way and put his head on his head.
I walk up to umpires when I'm talking to them and put my arm around them and tap them. Even if I'm arguing, I might do that.
Yeah. But it's
I mean,
he would
make
make way more sense if he was mad at him than to do what he did. It
the fact that in that his responses on different podcasts and different interviews is that he was expecting this dude to come congratulate him some way
Yeah.
or that they were going to have a moment after this, that makes zero sense. I don't
Yeah.
care how cool the ref is. I mean,
I think Dan Hurley was still having a moment
he
in
was.
his head, and he has, I'm sure he does have a better relationship with that guy, but like to not to not be able to separate that
Yeah.
in that moment when the official comes over is so weird to me. And if he would have got, I mean, can you imagine if he would have, first of all,
Wow,
there
got a
would have been
tech.
there would have been people that would be really mad about it, but it also would not have been wrong
So,
for
but
him to get
now in
that.
that case, it would have to be then the only way that that would happen is if he legit was upset with the ref. Because there's no ref that after a game like that, if they haven't been yelling at each other or getting on each other, he sees this and and the little thing he does, he doesn't feel any aggression, he's not teeing you up.
Yeah,
It's not happening.
right.
If there's no aggression behind whatever it is, he's not going to. It's
There
like you're
is,
not going to get kicked out of a game if you walk up and you're having a conversation with an umpire and you're just getting close talking and you bump shoulders, right? Like you're not getting tossed for that. Now, if you're arguing and you touch him and bump him, yeah, he's tossing your ass.
Mhm.
There has to be an aggression behind it.
Well, there was an aggression. It just wasn't like an
It,
angry aggression.
okay, an angry aggression.
Because
Sure.
that's so aggressive to do that anyway.
Can we be honest? It's weird.
It's very weird.
I I have friends that would punch me if I did that to them.
Yep.
Like, and I cross the line a lot with a lot of people when it comes to weird stuff. I have friends that would punch me if I did that,
Yeah.
or at least give me a hard shove.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me some space.
Hmm.
Your nose
Yeah.
is too close to my nose.
Well, first off, it's
What
always
in
too
that
close. It's hard for both of us to sit in this room this
it's
close to each
when I get home, our noses are going to be too close.
other. Oh,
Okay. Um, it's really weird. Also, this kind of brings me to a thing where there we've I I feel like I keep seeing it. It happened the other day in a couple weeks ago in the Texas game. When Sean Miller came out, when I thought he ran onto the floor, but I guess he was running on the floor to grab a coach that ran on the floor.
yeah.
That keeps happening where a shot goes in. It's close to the buzzer, but it's not the buzzer. It's there's still time on the clock, and people run onto the floor and then have to turn around and run back off. There has to be uh I think there has to be a level of accountability for that. There has to be something that says you have to be able to control yourself. Running onto the floor is not acceptable unless the shot is in the air. And honestly, almost any more you probably can't because everything's going to have to be reviewed at the end of the game. But there's just a chance that there's a play that is going to be
If
happening if you run onto the floor.
I think the Sean Miller thing in this is different though, because in this the actual buzzer went off for
Okay.
the end of the game, and they're running out like they just won the game. So
Well,
that the buzzer went off. The game is over. You're allowed on the floor. And Sean, there's 11 seconds left in, or whatever there was. How much time was left in the
I was like point three.
Texas? Texas.
Oh, Texas. Oh. I
There was
don't
another
know.
possession, wasn't there?
Yeah, I don't remember how
So
much time was left.
that's completely
Okay,
uncalled
I
for.
see. I
You
thought
see what
you
I'm
were saying
saying?
the different. Yeah,
No, no, no.
yeah.
What I'm saying is in the UConn game, a buzzer goes off. The kids are they're going crazy. Now it can be reviewed and they're not going to do anything because the buzzer went off. Therefore, the game was over according to the clock. The kids are allowed out on the court.
But the buzzer didn't go off till after the shot went in. I mean, you have to, as a basketball player or a coach,
I
you
listen,
have to know
dude,
that.
if somebody hits a last second shot and it's the Elite Eight and the buzzer goes off, at that point in time, they can't get teed up. The game's over. They can go back and review it and put time on the clock. But once that buzzer goes off, nothing else can happen. So it doesn't matter if they're on the court.
I don't think that's true. Uh, I,
But
because if they decide that there was still time on the clock, it there was still time on the clock.
I get it, and they'll put the time back on. But there was no time on the clock once they ran out onto the court.
I'd have to look at it again.
I have to look
Did
at
it,
it too.
did
I'm
it,
saying all these things. I don't know if that's what happened. I'm saying if that happened, I get it. I think that's what I'm saying. If the shot goes up and it bangs in and it's I mean it's 0.3 seconds, so it's bang. I mean it's like that. And the buzzer goes off. Okay. I am a kid for UConn. All of this just happened like that. I'm flying onto the court to say we just won the game. There's no time on the clock, so they're not handing the ball to anybody right now. The time is already gone. So they have to review everything before. So you're not holding up play in any way, shape, or form at that time. If there's 8 seconds left, 7 seconds left, what was the game? What was the game in the round of 32 where kid hit a shot with uh, a second left or something like that to take the lead, and then the other team comes down and hits I think it was Utah State, the way how they lost, and no. Either way,
I can't remember
Kansas
now.
lost or Kansas won the game that way. That's what it was. That's how Kansas won, I think. Kid hits a three. The team, the Cinderella team, thinks they just beat Kansas, and then Kansas takes another, gets it inbounds and goes in. That team didn't run on the court because there was still 1.4 seconds left when the ball went in. They were stoked and they were excited jumping up, but they didn't come on the court because no buzzer went off. If buzzer goes off, they're going to celebrate with the kid that just made the shot. That's what you're going to do in that tournament.
But I don't. You just have to know that the buzzer. shouldn't have gone off because there was still time on the clock.
Well, if it's bang bang and there's only point 0.3 they're putting back on, you don't know that.
It's no,
All you know is the
it's
buzzer went off and it's game is over. You want to tell me that there's still time left? Come tell me there's time left. But if that buzzer went off, there's a chance that the game is over.
I don't think so. I think if you see the ball go in and then the buzzer goes off, even if it's
You
bang bang,
that
it
dude, that is
doesn't.
so bad. That's
It's
point 0.3. You
it's
know how
not
fast point 0.3 of a
they
second is?
and the, but it's not. But it's enough time to point four, which is what they added the point one on. That's enough time to catch and shoot. The rule is that's enough time to catch and shoot. You can't out of an inbounds. I mean, you just can't. I don't know. You have to understand that you can't run on the floor if the buzzer is going off as the ball is being released or as the ball is in the air, certainly before it gets to the rim, then sure. If the ball goes in and then if the buzzer goes off at the exact same time as the ball is going in, you can't you can't assume it's over. It's just
Okay.
too.
Okay. You can say that all you want. If I am 20 years old and I am trying to get to the final four and all this happens in a spur of a moment, I can tell you what I'm doing. That's all I'm
Okay.
saying. I can tell you what I'm doing.
Okay, so if a coach does that, is it different?
Say, no, I think he can run out and jump on his kid for making the shot. Absolutely, he can.
Even if there's it's goes in buzzer?
I'm telling you, I'm saying it the way I'm saying it, where the buzzer goes off and I go run, I'm going out to go and
So
the
you
game's over.
okay.
No matter what, there's going to be a pause. So I'm running out to tell him, first off, we either just won the game or you just gave us the lead. Either way, you got balls of steel.
But you can't but you're not supposed to have more than five people on the floor if there's
The buzzer went off. The game's over.
it but
Here's what this is
you
what
know they're
matters.
gonna stop it
Was
and
the game
put time back on the
you
clock though.
doesn't that's what I'm trying to tell
I
you.
think it does.
I think we're
I think there should be if
so
there
you just want everybody to be like, nope, sit, nope.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're gonna sit right here. We're gonna wait, or we're gonna stand and we're gonna clap and say, "Good job." I
Nope.
can't run out on
I think
sit
you'd have
down.
to sit down and be quiet.
You would love if
I
they all
think you have
sat
to
down
sit
and be
down and be
quiet.
quiet.
All right, I'm gonna watch this. Bang. No, but first off, none of this matters because the clock stopped at point 0.3,
Okay.
so it doesn't matter.
I kind of thought
If
so.
it stopped at point 0.3, no, I would be screaming at my kids to get the hell off the court.
That's my point is
Screaming at my kids to get off the court.
that's
That's the
that's a,
difference.
but
That's the difference.
that's supposed to be a technical, and they're letting that go all the time now. They're not calling that, and it's really not. It's really I don't know. I kind of don't
Why
like
did
that.
everything stop? Why did somebody call a timeout?
No, the clock stopped.
Yeah, on the made basket. Isn't it
So
supposed to?
yeah, and I guess they
They immediately
stopped
go
to
over
check
to
the clock, but I don't know.
so
Did somebody call?
that's what I'm saying. Did they call timeout or did the refs immediately blow it dead to see?
I'm not. Yeah, I don't remember now. I was babysitting my niece and nephew, so I was
So the
distracted, but also trying to watch.
I can't even see if I'm just trying to see. So for they got 3 steps. I mean, they did it. I think they did a decent job. They had one kid that went onto the court and immediately got himself off within seconds, like within a second, less than a second maybe.
Okay.
The other
Well,
kid, the other kid did a good job. He jumped up and ran to the baseline, but stayed out of bounds.
I don't think you're allowed to be on the baseline though either. I don't think you're allowed
I
to be out
hate
of bounds.
I think we also need to figure out when it's allowed to be when you're allowed to have passion and when it needs to be reined in and I it's a hard dude, this is what I'm saying is you this is such a
Certainly,
hard thing.
it's emotional, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just so out of, using my filter of, come on, you've seen so much basketball, you know that it can't unless the buzzer's going off when the ball's still in the air for a while. You're obviously going to get time put back on. You can't run onto the floor. There's a specific rule that says you
I
can't do that.
I agree with that. I agree with you. If there's time left on the clock, yeah, no way. And you can see the kids as they did it. They saw there was time on the clock and they went, "Oh, Lordy, I got to get my ass out of here."
Yeah. I at some point, because it seems like it's happening more and more, at some point I think you gotta buckle down a little bit on that so that people have to actually
So
think
you
about
think
it.
that there's a whistle obviously because all play stops. And
They
we're
probably stopped it because there were 18 people on the floor
there's
now.
not 18 people on the court. All right, so here we go. Boom. One, two. They're just on the sideline. That's
There,
considered the sideline to me still.
well,
A
yeah, I
step
mean,
1 foot onto the court. I mean, the side those guys have size 14 feet and they're
don't,
only
don't, don't,
8
don't,
inches
don't,
away
don't, 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 don't. No, that's incorrect. You know that's incorrect.
Sorry. Sorry. I think in that instance, right there, the whole team jumps up. They just hit a last second shot.
So they should be allowed to
They didn't run onto the court and go grab any players or touch anybody. They jumped up. They were
started
up
to go on the court,
and but did not.
but did,
Okay,
and then,
but they didn't affect anything in any way, shape, or form.
well, because they stopped it,
Yes,
but
they stopped it. Exactly. That's what I'm
but
saying. Heaven forbid those kids. You know what? I don't want anybody. I don't want no. Listen. This is not a game. It's
let's
not
make
a game.
let's make it the
We are
opposite
not
way now.
having fun at this game. I mean, you're only going to the Final Four. Act like you've been
Let's
there before. You won back-to-back national championships.
let's
Like the final, like making it to the Final Four is a big deal. There's only
here's the
320
thing.
teams in Division One
Here's
basketball.
the thing. Then let's get rid of the rule. You know, if
No, no, no.
there's
I think there needs
if
to be a rule
no,
because you
there
can't run
doesn't.
out and touch somebody or run out and do something.
But it happens though. People
But
are running onto the floor all the time. It's
if you run onto the floor,
somebody did,
let's
and somebody's doing that all the
okay.
time now.
So there's definitely wording being used by the NCAA to the officials. Okay, there's wording where they're being told how they're being told to officiate it. They have to be, otherwise it would be an automatic violation every time it happens. This happens when kids make a three.
Well, there,
The bench jumps up in the air and somebody's got a foot on the court.
sure.
So you either
But
have to
it's
call everything, including that, or you say if there was a celebration and they're jumping up and no one is running out into the court to be, I know the word, it's that's what I'm saying. I think the NCAA has to have had a conversation with referees to say if they're not running onto the court in some sort of manner. I'm not a lawyer or a person that can state words very clearly because I'm a terrible wordsmith. And like Marty Brenneman would be fantastic at telling you how I feel right now.
yeah. Maybe
If
so.
he felt the same way, which there's no way he feels the same way as me.
You don't
He's
think
on
so?
your side. Oh yeah, Marty.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Get off my lawn, Marty Brenneman.
I don't think he's like that about everything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But my point is, I think they have some sort of wording of if it is not an intentional out onto the court or far enough onto the court. I think there's wording like that that has to have been used with referees. If the team jumps up and they're 2 feet onto the court and they're not aggressively running into the court and they're just celebrating and they're not in play and nothing, they're not affecting play in any way, let it go make sure they get back. That would be, it has to be what they've been told because that's what they do.
I'm sure it's just by their discretion. It's just
I
you get
can't
to.
imagine that if you have every rule has a discretion, right? Not every
Mm-hmm.
rule, but a lot of rules do.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you call holding on every play. You call this on like every time somebody shoots a three, or somebody throws an alley oop and the team jumps up in the air and one person's got a foot out in there, but he's not affecting play. He's cheering for his team. Like, nope, technical right there. Nope, you're on the floor, right? Or every time it's well, he was far enough away from the play and his man had no part in the play. We're not going to call that on this play. I'm going to go over and tell him, hey, man, you got a little loose on this. keep your hands inside, right? It didn't affect the play or something. You know what I mean? I think that's so maybe it is discretion, but I think the NCAA has to tell them that, just like the NFL is telling referees, don't call holding on every play if it doesn't have anything to do with affecting the play. Then we'll let it go a little bit.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? You don't think that that's
Yeah.
even close to what's happening?
No, I'm not. No, I don't. I'm not saying that. Um, I there obviously is, you're gonna have to officiate games not by exactly the letter of the law. You just won't be able to do that. But I mean, if you, never mind. We'll get into a whole different conversation there.
No,
But
I love it. I will. I'll stop and I won't say another word. You just tell me what you were gonna
no, 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 no.
say.
There are some things that because we do get further in for like the line, the boundary gets pushed a little further, a little further, a little further, a little, and then at some point you have to reestablish it, and then reestablish it so
So
that people.
when lines get pushed though, don't they reestablish it when something happens usually?
But why should we wait for something like should we wait for some sort of really bad thing to happen?
Well,
Like there's
no, I'm
a
not saying bad. I just mean like somebody makes contact with somebody that's on the court, having a pass thrown into them with point 0.3 seconds left.
and that would be bad, but
Technical,
or something
right there.
even
That
worse.
that's easy. Boom, teed up. You
Sure,
can't do that.
sure. Um, I, yeah, don't wait for that though. That's there's a reason why that should never happen because that's why the rules in place so that that doesn't happen. Um, so either use it and reestablish the line, or I- or yeah, I guess wait until until play is affected, but then you can't really do anything about it then because the play's already been affected,
You
and
can't.
there's a chance
That's when the technical foul is called.
that's when the technical foul is called. But if you've affected a play that could have resulted in a different outcome, I, okay, then you stop the play, then you go shoot free throws. Maybe you make them, maybe you don't. You get the ball. If there's zero point 0.1 seconds on the clock or whatever, then you have to throw it in bounds to the rim, and everybody jumps for it. I know that's an extreme situation, but like you could technically strategically do something like that. You know what I mean?
Like Mike Tomlin, step out and trip a guy while he's running down the sideline when he's
Sure.
probably got a breakaway. They didn't get a touchdown for that.
Hmm.
Coaches go out on the field or out on the field yelling and screaming all the time.
Yeah.
They don't get 15-yard penalties every time a coach goes out there.
Well, maybe they
How
should.
about a referee or how about a coach when he goes past the coach's block box?
Hmm. Yep.
Most coaches live outside of the coach's box.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't even know where the coach's box is anywhere.
They don't have a little line on the high school games.
Probably,
Yeah,
but yeah. I mean, I'm not. I'm too afraid to break the rules anyway, so I'm in the I'm
I'm
in the
one
box
step away
anyway.
from my chair. I'm
Yeah.
one step away from the last chair.
All right. That's we had a fun enough conversation with that. Um, we got to talk about the Mount Rushmore of NCAA championship basketball games, which will be happening
When are we going to not have
Monday.
a championship on a Monday? When is that going to stop? Why do we always have these things on Monday nights so kids can't watch them? Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I guess the semifinals are on Saturday night, so that
So you can't play it a week later?
you should be able to do Friday and well, Sunday, I guess would be the same. Although you could play it earlier in the day on Sunday.
Sunday would be Easter. That's a rough one. But
Well,
that rarely ever happens, but is what it is.
yeah,
I just why can't you play a week later?
I'm with you.
Why can't you play next Saturday night? I don't understand that. Why is the Super Bowl got to be on a Sunday? Why can't it be on Saturday? You get 2 weeks off.
Yep.
Why is the NCAA national championship for football on a Monday? Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yep.
Why aren't we doing this on Saturday when the NCAA plays football?
Yep.
And maybe that changed this year. Maybe that changed with all the 12 teams, but I feel like it's all no. It was on a Monday. I was out of town.
I don't know.
That's so dumb. Anyway,
I do not. Yeah.
so dumb. That's the stuff I can't stand. I don't really care if a kid celebrates and steps on the court barely, like the tip of his toe steps over. And
That's what happened in that video. That's exactly what happened. I agree with you. It's he should be actually he should um, get a medal for running on.
should get a medal. He should get a medal.
uh,
Uh,
all right,
fan of the year.
fan of the year, Chris. There have been plenty of championship games that have been really good because it usually ends up being two of the top
Yeah,
five teams or whatever
yeah,
during the basketball season in it. There have been some times where lower seeds uh, ended up there, had some great run. George Mason went to the Final Four 10
yep,
years ago or whatever it was. Um, so, but we've had some overtime games. We've had some shots, some buzzer beaters that went in. The Gordon Hayward shot from half court that hit
yeah.
the rim, hit the inside of the rim a couple times and went out. And
Chris Jenkins with his last second shot. I was just about to look up who the kid from North Carolina was that hit that shot right before
oh
it.
yeah, right, yep, that was yeah. No, I mean North Carolina had this big comeback at the end of that game, and then they Chris Jenkins made the shot for Villanova, and anyway, so I'll start with, and I went more older games here, but there's so many games you could pick from.
Here's the thing. I didn't do a very good job of looking this up as I
That's
was
all
out
right.
of town and everything.
I'll
So
give you this
I
list.
apologize. So you're gonna start, and we'll go from there.
Uh, I'm gonna take one of the more famous championship games, 1985, Villanova, a huge upset over Georgetown. Villanova was an 8 seed. Georgetown was 1 seed, not probably the overall number 1 seed. Um, Villanova was not supposed to even really compete in this game, and they ended up winning 66-64 by 2 points. Villanova shot, you ready for this? 78.6% from the floor in that game. Yeah. And won by two. They could have had an unbelievable shooting game and lost. They could have
They could
shot
have shot. They
76%.
could have shot 65%, and everybody would have been unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, and they still would have lost. Um,
That's how good Georgetown was.
yeah, that's right. Okay, so Villanova in '85. I'm gonna go. Give me Villanova in 2016. That's
Chris
the shot. That's the
Marcus Page, Marcus
Marcus
Page,
Page
double clutch three, like a double pump 3-pointer with 4.7 seconds left
to tie the
to
game,
tie the game.
and
And
then
and then they get the ball inbounded over half court, call timeout, get the ball inbound. So their inbound is coming at half court, and uh,
oh, I thought it was right off the
I thought it was
right off the make. I don't know.
no, I thought they called because that's a play that I've seen them that they've run before, where
Hmm.
Jenkins came off of that. That was like a play that they had run
It was just like a
earlier in
little.
the
He
season,
just filled in behind and he just pitched it back to him. I think.
but it was half court.
Yeah, it was a little over half, but it was yeah.
I thought he came running from the side at half court, caught it, turned and shot,
Oh no, this was.
like for the Chris Jenkins one.
I thought that was the one where they just played it out. Um, who was probably was it? Could that have been Jalen Brunson? Maybe the who?
No, no, no. I'm thinking of the Chris. I'm only
No, I'm
thinking of.
thinking who brought the ball up
Oh,
and pitched
oh.
it back to him. Somebody. I feel like somebody who's in the NBA now might have been the one that
Well,
had
that
him
team
on.
had 5 of them on them.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Anyway,
sorry, you might be
that
right. That actually I could be right. He may have just filled in behind in that situation, or he might have been sitting out here, and then as he came, yeah,
I thought it was
that
just like
that could definitely
transitioning
yeah,
up the floor, and it
that
just
could have
kind of.
definitely been it.
I,
Yeah, for that could have done it.
it was 10 years ago now, so I don't remember anything. Um, I'm gonna go 1983, another really famous one. Um, the uh, the number 1 seed Houston Cougars with at the time Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler um, were beating it. No, it was tied. It was tied at 52. there was like a broken play. NC State seemed to not know what to do.
Yeah.
Somebody shot the ball, air ball. Lorenzo Charles read it perfectly, which is a hard read to make.
Mm-hmm.
If it's coming toward the rim and you got to know you can't offensive goaltend it.
Unless it's a bad air ball, wasn't it like, I mean, it wasn't that far away from the rim,
It
right?
wasn't too
It
well,
wasn't
yeah,
that bad. Like if it looks like there's a chance that it's going to hit the rim, you can't make that timing of a jump. That's
yeah.
a tough play.
It's a tough read. So, but anyway, he made it. It was legit, and he dunked a dunk at the buzzer. I'm like, where in the world is the greatest shot blocker of all time, Hakeem Olajuwon? Where is he then in that situation? So 83 NC State, dunk at the buzzer. They were a 6 seed, by the way.
Wow.
Um, and then the last one, you know what? There were probably more exciting games, but I'm gonna go 1982, North Carolina. Ball gets swung to the right side. It gets reversed back again. They're playing like a zone. Georgetown is, and they're up 62-61. Georgetown is, and the ball gets swung over to a freshman from North Carolina. Hits a jumper with 15 seconds left. That ends up being the game-winning shot. His name was Michael Jordan. He went on to play a few years in the NBA, I think. And
Yeah, who did he play for?
the
Was
Wizards?
it the Wizards?
I
Yeah,
think it
that's
was
what I
the
was going to
Wizards.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Uh,
had a decent little. He had a couple 50-point games for the Wizards, I think.
I think he did.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Um, so yeah, 82, North Carolina, Michael Jordan with the J.
Love it. So
Um,
I'm going to. I
go
already
on, Ben.
said the
What you
Chris
got?
Jenkins thing was one of my favorites. Um, Only because that was such at that time the Chris Mack era Xavier Musketeers were it was us and Villanova
Hmm.
all the time at that point. So when Villanova won it, it was like, dang, oh man, let's go. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Uh,
Didn't Xavier beat them that year?
yes, they beat them when they were ranked. I think they were ranked number one in the country when they beat them at Xavier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm gonna go with that. I am trying like crazy to get this buzzer. My phone is doing nothing right now, and I'm trying to get this buzzer beater. But you got to go with Jimmy V. You got
Hmm.
to go with the NC State Jimmy V. I think that has to be on there. Just the unbelievableness of it. Um, I always want to talk about. I'll never forget watching Tony Delk set the three point made record for Kentucky when they won it. I don't even remember when that was. 90. That was Patino, wasn't it?
96 maybe or
Was
something
that
like that.
Patino?
Probably. Yeah.
And Tony Delk set because I just remember that being such a big deal because he hit like seven threes or six. It wasn't. I mean, you probably see a lot more than that now,
Yeah.
but you know,
Yeah.
but that was pretty cool.
Yep.
Um, so, but I'm not going to say that. Let's say, let's see.
I mean, you had a couple of overtime games semi recently. In '08, you had Kansas, Mario Chalmers. You probably remember that.
I
He hit a
do.
three to tie the game, send it into overtime. And then Kansas ended up beating Memphis, who was probably a Derrick Rose Memphis in '08, I would think. Um,
Yeah.
2019, Virginia and Texas Tech played an overtime game. Um, Virginia won that. That's when they finally got there. They were really close a couple of times. They were a 1 seed like 3 years in a row.
Yep.
They got beat in the first round
Was it the year
one
before?
time. Might have been. It might have been. Um,
See, I got
somewhere
to
around there.
remember it. Like you got to remember it. Like when
I
he's
know.
talking about it, what do I remember? Do I remember it? And obviously the Valvano. I think I'm going to be with you on the Villanova game. And maybe it's because you see it so much
Yeah,
replayed,
it's talked
it
about a lot.
just sticks so deeply into your crawl, if you will.
Yeah,
Uh, I'll probably do, yeah. Massimino, what was his name?
Raleigh Massimino.
Raleigh Massimino.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so we'll do that. So that's three. You know what? I don't know what year it was. I don't even really like Kentucky, but I'm going with my that was my most memorable. I remember Tony Delk hitting those threes and breaking whatever the 3-point record was at the time.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
I feel like I remember that team having um some crazy like uniforms. Like I want to say they had like it wasn't quite pinstripes, but it was kind of like that. And then right around that time, I think they had like denim blue.
Oh, the denim blue was
It
terrible.
was
Yeah, it
terrible,
was
yeah.
so bad.
But I want to say right, maybe it was right before that was this Tony Delk team, and they maybe like Ron Mercer might have been on that team, and a couple other guys. But yeah, I remember their shorts
Yeah.
specifically. Kind of remember their uniforms being like new that year and kind of out there.
So Chris Jenkins throws the ball in after the made three. I don't
Oh,
know if this is immediately after the three. It looks like
okay.
there was a timeout called and they inbounded it underneath.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
looks because there's
It's
nobody
from
down
the
here.
opposite end of the floor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's nobody down here. I knew there was a timeout because it felt like it was. I feel like I remember that them running a play similar to that in the regular season and Jenkins hitting a game winner in the Big East like this. Um, but yeah, Jenkins throws it into Archie Diacono.
yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Ryan Archidiakono, I
yeah,
think, something like that.
Ryan, whatever. Yeah. So Archie Dinak, I can't even say his name anymore. I never could say it then either. He just trails right behind him and he dribbles up the court, turns around, gives him a little toss, quarter court shot, drains it. One of my favorite shots. I love that. But I'm
Yeah.
going Tony Delk. Tony
Nice.
Delk's Kentucky Wildcats. Let's call it 90. What'd you say?
I feel like six, maybe
Sure.
five, six, four. I
That
don't
sounds good.
know. Okay. Do you get the feeling that Pete Holmes remembers any of these? I
No,
don't know. I don't feel like
I
he's
don't
big
feel like Pete
anymore.
Holmes has watched a sport in his life.
Yeah. I,
That could be wrong. You never know.
yeah.
I say
He
that
doesn't
about
come
people all the
across as a
time.
big sports guy, but he
Yeah,
might,
he might. He may be a fan of like the Boston Celtics or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. He
Yeah.
might be a
Boston guy.
Red Sox fan. I don't know.
I'm sure he knows at least some of the lore and he knows he's familiar
Yeah,
with the
sure,
players and that kind of
sure,
thing.
sure. Well, you have to if you're from Boston.
Yeah.
I think it's like even if you don't like sports,
You're gonna know about
you
it.
know about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. All right, let's talk Pete Holmes. Silly fun boy.
Yeah.
Uh, all right, so I'm gonna start this. I want to start by
Please.
saying I don't remember him finding himself so funny.
Okay, I know what you mean.
I can't. I would. I was multiple times, and I have a piece of paper written down upstairs, and I didn't bring it down here. I wrote down, I think 4 times. He didn't even tell the joke. Like he laughed harder at stuff that the crowd didn't laugh at, but he was laughing before he told the joke sometimes.
Mhm.
I was struggling with the fact that he could not stop laughing at himself, and it felt like it was planned, like he was doing it
Oh,
on purpose, but I felt like it was in terrible places. Like it wasn't working. That's
okay.
how I felt about that. That being said, this dude is funny.
Yeah.
He is hilarious. You don't let stop. You don't laugh at yourself. All these awkward moments where you just start giggling for no reason or like you're ruining it. Like you're tell the joke. I don't like that. I don't like that's the thing about Kevin Hart that kills me, right? Like or we always talk about Dave Chappelle when he decides to smack the mic and do all that stuff. It's the same thing to me. It's
Yeah.
all the same thing. And he did it a lot, a lot. Uh, but this dude is legit funny.
Yeah.
He is he is a silly fun boy.
Yeah, he is.
He is. I would like to hang out with this guy. I feel like we could sit and tell some of the funniest. I could listen to him tell some of the funniest. I feel like this guy would be super funny, not just up on stage, but in a small little group funny. Like
Hmm.
he could do it at anywhere, anytime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know that Mark Norman's super funny around a bunch of people. I
I
don't
think
know.
he is.
I'm sure he is. Maybe Mark Norman's not the right one. What's the other guy's name? Uh, the funny Jewish guy. He did the he was up on a balcony during COVID.
Mm. Oh,
Big New York
Sam
guy,
Morril.
Sam Morril.
Yeah.
Like maybe Sam Morril's not super fun, man, but he probably is too.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know.
no, I'm with you on that one
Yeah,
because he does a podcast with Mark Norman, and he's not. He can be funny on it, but he's not quite like the quick,
yeah.
sharp.
And I could see Mark Norman being,
He's so
yeah,
good
I
on
could see
that.
him
He's
being like
so
that.
funny on that.
But it's like the other guy that I always say reminds me of your brother. I
Joe
don't
List?
no, well, yes, Joe List is probably. I think Joe List is funny in a
Yeah.
small group of people.
Yeah.
Not that's not who I was thinking of though. Who's the older guy with the glasses, kind of longer hair? He's always upset. Anyway, I feel like there's a few guys like that
Yeah.
just would not be fun. This dude seems like he'd be funny. That's what I was trying. All of this talking, I feel like this dude would be funny anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. He's a fun. He's got a fun energy. He's always joked about that. Um, he's like he's got that joke from a long time ago. He's like the dorky dad at a barbecue or whatever, and he like he goes Fresca, and he like acts like he's tossing a can of Fresca behind his back to somebody. um,
Yeah,
yeah. Anyway,
definitely funny dad style
yeah,
kind of a guy
yeah.
for sure.
Um, so this really quick, and then because we're over our time, right?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
Um,
we don't have any time according to.
you don't have to work tomorrow. I have to work tomorrow, but I get off early, so I can go home and take a nap. That doesn't matter.
No, he's waking up. That's hard. Okay,
Yeah,
I
that's
once
all.
I'm up, I'm good.
Okay, yeah,
I'm not a
yeah.
napper.
I'm not usually a napper either. But you never know.
Yeah,
Tomorrow I might get home early and take me a snooze. We'll see.
do it.
Uh,
Jesus took a snooze tomorrow too.
Jesus, tomorrow's when he is the anniversary of his nap. Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
is because it wasn't his death.
No,
Old boy said, "Hey,
three
I was
days.
just trying to sleep.
Took a 3 day nap.
I was trying to sleep. Y'all wrote this big old rock in front of us, in front of this hole. Let me out of here,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Come on."
yeah. Well, yeah. No, right. He took the nap from a Friday to a Sunday. Is that right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Why
Yeah,
did I have
today's
to
where
think
they
about
do
that?
the where you do the days of the cross or
Happy Holy Thursday, by the way.
Happy Holy
You
Is that
know?
what it's called? Holy Thursday?
Yes.
Okay, because it's Holy Thursday and then it's Happy Friday, or no, it's Happy Easter and it's Holy Friday, Good Friday,
Good
and then
Friday.
Holy. It's
Super Saturday
here's what kills me.
or
Here's what kills me. How,
Fantastic Friday. I don't know.
do you think it was a Good Friday for Jesus?
Not for him.
No, I don't think it was that
Not
good.
for
You
him.
want to talk about a selfless dude? He's like, yo, homie, I really got to go through this. And now you're going to call this Good Friday?
You know what might
I
have
see how you feel about your son.
you know what might have been a good part of it though is he got a new hat.
He
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 got a new
did.
hat that day.
Son gun hurt. There wasn't nothing good about that hat.
No, yeah, well, but you know what?
You know when you
I don't
get
know that anybody else had a hat like that.
no.
He
I
can say
I
that.
don't think so either. I've had I don't know. I've had the old 5950s when the center you'd wear it for a long time and the plastic
Oh yeah.
sew like because they would sew everything with the plastic stitching and they would break and like prick out and you put your hat on you're like oh I
Yeah.
feel like I did have one of those hats.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Well, okay. That's something that basically you and Jesus have experienced
Somebody
together and almost no one else, really.
somebody else has had a crown of thorns, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, I have to get my place prepared downstairs for when
Listen,
I pass.
hey, do you like Pete Holmes? Because I feel like
He would like that joke.
I feel like he thinks our God is that way.
Yeah. He's a big. If you ever listen to his podcast, he has a segment every time where he talks to his guests about God and what they think and he's very spiritual about it and he does a little bit of that here
Yeah.
and for a second it was like it's starting to just get a little like his thoughts about God like not but
Yeah.
I kept waiting. I was like, there's gonna be a joke.
It
There's
was
gonna be a joke.
coming. Yeah,
It
it
was
was
coming.
coming.
It
It
was
was
coming.
coming. It wasn't the big hitter because he was like, some people would walk away on this. I was like, I hope you don't.
Yeah.
Come back with something better than that to finish on.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, yes, Pete is very funny. Um, I was excited to see he had a new one because it had been a little bit, couple years, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was
I
very
enjoyed
good.
it.
Very good.
Do you want to do this at the same time, or you just want to shoot it out? And I'll shoot mine out, or what do you want to do? I can't tell if we're going to be. I'm sure
I
it'll be
haven't had a
somewhere.
score yet because I
Okay.
can't figure out how much I'm going to take off
Mm.
for how much I could not. I was starting to get frustrated with the laughing.
It didn't. It didn't bother me. I guess I noticed that for some reason it just didn't
It
affect me the same way. I don't
it
know.
bothered me.
Yeah.
Um. All right, I think I'm ready.
Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Three point
4.2.
nine.
I went higher than you.
You did.
I had him at like a 4.4. Like it was. This dude is. I laughed constantly the whole time. I was.
Yeah.
I mean, I had. I never had like a. I think I had one like out loud laugh, but the rest of them were just like a lot of those
Yeah.
the whole way through. Not a like it was.
I.
Maybe I dissed it a little too hard
I.
at the
No.
beginning.
I was at a four, and then as I'm writing it down, I'm like, four's too prestigious. I gotta
Wow.
like I don't
I
know.
thought it was really. I thought it deserved. I thought
I
it
think
was
it's a four.
very very good.
I think it's a four
But
for
you're
some
not
reason
allowed
I could.
giving a 4.0, so you thought 4.1 was too high. I get it. So you went
There it
3.9.
is.
I totally
You
understand
know what?
your
I'll
thought
give him a
process.
3.98.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it. All right. So that brings us to next week.
Yes, yes, yes. What do we have? So it's oh, okay. Uh, I just thought of something.
Okay. What'd you think of?
My like maybe no, is it after Christmas or Easter? Um, my favorite season in the Catholic Church, ordinary time. Um, I want to because I'm trying to make next week's Mount Rushmore, topical to whatever's coming up.
Was it called Ordinary
It's
Time?
called ordinary time. Yeah. When it's not Christmas, it's not Easter, it's not Lent or Advent. Um, ordinary time is
How
what it's
many
called.
how many days
It's
is
a
that?
long time. It's a lot of
Is it a
time.
lot of
Yeah.
time?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure.
Uh,
Not sure.
I can't remember if that's right after Christmas or Easter. Um, or maybe it's both. Anyway, I was gonna try to Mount Rushmore of ordinary dates during ordinary time, holidays during ordinary time. Um, oh, that could be it because then you can't count Christmas or Easter. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, you'll much more easily come up with a comedy, I think, for next week than I will have a Mount Rushmore.
So I'll go ahead and get started then.
Okay.
Did we actually watch Taylor Tomlinson's last one? Did
No,
we end up skipping it
I
and like doing
think
something different?
I think we skipped it.
Because I was looking the other day on Netflix when I was out of town, and and I was up on the Taylor Tomlinson. And I was like, I don't remember. I know we watched
I
this,
think we both were planning on watching it, and then something else came up, and we're like, "Oh, let's watch that one."
and we
I
never went back.
I think so.
Let's do Taylor
Yeah.
Tomlinson's latest one then, because I love Taylor Tom. I think
Yeah,
she's awesome.
she's great.
Uh,
She switched teams since last time we saw her.
oh, good for her.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, she kind of made it sound like she was on the verge all the time. She wasn't super
Yeah.
stoked about her manly life,
Yeah.
her
She
guy
was having some.
situations. Yeah, I mean, it didn't sound like she had a lot of success, if you will. Um, now I'm not going to be able to find her. Now I'm not going to be able to find it because this phone sucks. So anyway, it's Taylor Tomlinson's 2025 special on Netflix. How about we just call it
Okay.
that? Okay.
All right.
She
Man, I
only had
can't
one in 2025.
feel like I should remember the name of it. All
I
right.
can't believe we didn't watch it. Be 100% honest.
Maybe we'll watch it and we'll both be like, "Oh,
Oh
wait, I
crap, we
remember
saw
that."
this.
I think we skipped it.
So, somebody that's in the comedy world and has been in it for a long enough time, right? Like she's probably been doing it for 10 years, I would imagine. Probably close, right? Most people that get to where she's at are probably in that
Yeah.
time frame.
She's in her late 20s. So I'd say, yeah.
Do you think she switched teams because she just wasn't having success on the team she was on? Or do you think that she was a all-timer, like always been on, always felt like she was a part of that team, just didn't ever? As I feel like there's two different types of
Yeah.
I feel like
But
there's two different
I
types.
think she grew up very religious,
Oh,
and so that
well, that
always has a
yeah,
thing,
that's the biggest thing.
you
Never
gotta
mind. I just think once you're a comedian, you tell everybody you're an atheist, just like Pete Holmes said,
right,
and you don't care about anything. So just
right.
be you. Nobody's gonna care.
Yeah. Yeah. Or try something different, even if it's not you, and then figure it out after that. I don't know.
I was at Lowe's today, and I was running through a bit in my head for if I ever have to do this 2 to 3 minutes, and it was about the different types of lesbians. I legit had this guy. Two of them came walking out, and they were the same. There's three different types of lesbians in my head.
Mhm.
I don't feel like I want to do the joke just in case I want to use this
You can
someday.
save it if you want. Uh,
You've got you got the bull dyke, right?
yeah.
Like, yeah, you're the guy, and then she's usually with a girl.
Hmm.
And then you got what is 95% of them, which is wide thighs, just look like middle-aged women that have never had a boyfriend in their life. And
Very short hair.
no, like
No,
normally like shoulder length hair, just normal, unattractive women that meet up with each other. I feel like that's 95% of lesbians. It works. I feel like this could be it. I got a good laugh at. I got a good chuckle out of you. I got to figure out how to put that into comedy form, but I think I might use that in my.
yeah, it made me laugh. That's for sure.
I feel like I could do something with that. I feel like I could do something with that.
Okay.
It's got to be worded right to where when I'm
Sure.
trying to describe the last part, it's got to be a little difficult, and then just say something that's
Yeah.
the punchline, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta, yeah, and it depends on where you tell that joke too.
I don't care.
It's gonna be,
I'll go
it's,
to Hyde Park. I'll go
it,
wherever. I don't care.
excuse me.
I'm gonna laugh too because they're gonna look at her and be like, I'm the one. You're the two. We're the threes. We're the something. Yeah.
Maybe, maybe North Side.
So
I feel like
I'll do it.
North
Yeah.
Side or yeah. All right. Okay, we got Taylor Taylor Tomlinson. Um, they'll go to a hardware store too, by the way.
I was at Lowe's.
They'll get yeah.
They were walking
That's
out
what
of
I mean.
Lowe's, and one of them
So
was holding two like lawnmower tires, and like the
yeah.
big pneumatic ones, like the air ones, that go on like a
Oh.
riding lawnmower. And she was like Brian Shaw gripping them with each hand. Like she put baby powder on her hands beforehand. God, I was testing her grip strength, and she was walking out, and I was like, I wonder how this is in my brain. I wonder how they decided who's carrying the tires out.
Oh, they didn't even have to talk about it. They knew.
I said that too in my head. I was like, nah, she just picked them up.
Yeah,
She just picked those
yeah.
up. You walk out like that with no bag. First off, obviously they aren't going to get a plastic bag. That's
For a tire, yeah.
no. Well, for two,
Oh
she had
yeah, two
two.
tires, yeah.
She was dog gripping both of them, bro.
Oh, great.
And she walked out. They decided not to put them both in one bag and just carry them with a handle. No,
I see.
she decided, yeah, I'm gonna show everybody
I'm palming this thing.
I am world's strongest man style, dude. Like when they get them big old boulders and they just gotta pick them up and move them with one hand. Anyway, that's what I'm about today.
Good for her.
I love it.
That's nice. That reminds me, I need a new tire for my wheelbarrow. Okay.
It's probably what
All
it probably was actually. A little bit. Anyway,
right.
did you come up with
Mount
Mount Rushmore
Rushmore.
of lesbians?
Mount. um. No.
Not specific ones, just types
You
of.
know what?
Types of.
Hmm, maybe I want to do specific ones though. That
Well,
could be
Rosie OD.
Rosie OD could be on it.
Yeah.
Ellen DeGee could be on it.
Linda G. She's a. I heard bad things
He's
about
the.
Ellen,
I've heard
actually.
bad things about both of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rosie could be a little nasty too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she probably could.
Um.
But they had to deal with a lot growing up.
I mean, Taylor Tomlinson could be on it.
I would put Taylor Tomlinson on there
You know what I mean?
probably. Yeah, I could probably think of some better ones though.
Yeah. I have to. I have to do a little research.
Hmm.
I have to. I have to type the word lesbians into Google and see and put the filter on it first and make sure nothing too bad comes up.
Mount Rushmore of lesbians inside Google, top four lesbians inside Google, and see what that comes up
Yeah,
with.
I gotta put the
Such and
put the
such adult film star has
put
decided
yeah
to
yeah yeah.
only
Yeah.
do work with
Yeah.
women. So
I'm not looking for any of that.
I
I
mean,
put the kid filter on there. Yeah. If it accidentally
right
comes up,
then you weren't looking
it
for
wasn't
it
me. It wasn't me.
on that in that particular search. You weren't looking for that.
Right. Okay. Um, no, Mount Rushmore of Mount Rushmore of hardware stores.
That's good. That's good.
Thank you for the help.
That's good.
Mount Rushmore of
Mm,
hardware stores.
mm,
You know what?
mm.
All time. Is there an HQ in there? Is there a Hater Hardware? I mean, all time.
Hater Central,
Mm-hmm.
the home quarters,
Yeah.
watching Mike,
Small Pro.
watching Bobby and Mike have to hold hands
That's
all the way through HQ was one of the greatest days of my life.
what you get for fighting.
Oh my
That's
God.
your brother.
Uncle Bob was a dog, bro.
He
Uncle
was
Bob.
a dog.
Uncle Bob was ruthless.
Yeah.
Ruthless. Bro was ruthless.
Now those guys have that story that's hilarious, and
Oh,
they will
so
tell it
good.
hilariously.
They the way they tell it is better than probably what actually happened. But I was there walking around and it was equally as funny as it was going down. I can tell you that.
I was not there. I did hear of it.
Yeah.
um, and that's one of my favorite stories from them.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's good.
Bob was
That's
a
good.
dog.
Probably drove there when he was though.
Yeah.
Probably drove there in a giant Tahoe. Be my guess.
Yeah,
Probably got there
yeah.
flipping around the five seats, the five rows of seats in his Tahoe. Okay. All right. So next week we've got uh the Mount Rushmore of lesbian shopping centers and hardware stores and Taylor Tomlinson last year's special. Till next week, don't forget to turn your headlights on.